Welcome in. I am the Crypto Bull God, and if you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment. You gotta click that bell icon for all notifications to know when I go live each and every single weekday, and sometimes on the weekends, apparently. What a day to be alive as the Crypto Bull God. Things are starting to heat up. I'm going to get to the comments in a moment here, but I met up with someone in the community here, which had a great time. Met up with somebody who is part of, I guess you could call this the CBG community. Met up with him. He was down in South Florida. Honestly, had a great time. Felt like he was a buddy who I've hung out with plenty of times, and we were just shooting the shit. We talked some finance, we talked some crypto for sure, but the conversation was dominated outside of that context for the majority of the time, and it was great. It was great to meet up with this person. Super nice guy, super chill. So thank you to that person who I met up with. It really did mean a lot. He said it meant a lot to me that I met up with him. Well, the feeling's 100% mutual. It meant a lot to me that you made time out of your trip down here to meet up with me. So it was a great time. And, one of the things that I shared with him when we got together today was that it's interesting, how long was this time boring? I mean, let's all be honest with one another. Let me turn down the light here. This light is like shining in my... God, this light is like in my face. Okay. Not so bright. No, but I want everyone to really think about this for a moment. How many weeks did I come out here and was it really boring, right? Was it really boring? The price action was stagnant. I would often come out here and I would comment to you guys, I got to be honest, as a content creator, it's challenging. It's challenging having a full-time job and then making the time and effort to come out here and come out with energy and excitement and an agenda to talk about something meaningful in the space when price was just going like this, right? Just going like this. And so it was really challenging. And the other thing I would echo is I had indicated to you guys that when things began to churn up in this market, it would be swift. It would be swift. No pun intended for my Ripple audience. It would not be Swift, the European payment system. It would be swift. It would be quick. And so one of the most important things that I've been communicating to you guys for months at this point, is during this downturn in the market, the period of consolidation, what I would call consolidation, it was critical for you to spend that time to make sure that you still were connected with the community to understand what was going on with price action. And two, then and now still is and was the time to develop an exit strategy. Much of the time that this individual and I spent talking about crypto, it was interesting to hear his perspective, and it was so true. And it's one of the things I'm reminded of from our conversation was that when you are caught up in full-blown euphoria, which is not too far away, okay, in my educated opinion, as I've shared, if you don't have a plan today in terms of how to exit the market, there is something I can promise you. If you plan to create an exit strategy during euphoria, I wish there was an opposite of this sign here, you will fail. You will fail, I hate that word, but you will fail at an exit strategy. You will not be successful. You will watch your crypto investments go up 5x, 10x, 20x or more, and it'll all be what we call paper gains. You will never press the sell button because you will be caught up in what most people are caught up in, emotions. And emotions, as I often say, are a money killer. Now is the time, and as I've indicated to you guys, between December and January, December of this year and January of next year, I will create a video and I will speak to the video quite often to make sure that everyone here at least watches it. Take from it what you will. You could completely disagree with me and that's fine, but at least watch the video. I will come up with no more than five indicators that I personally will plan to be using to tell me, hey, this Bitcoin, just speaking about Bitcoin has either topped or is super close to topping, and you better scale out. Another thing, and we're going to get into the weekly close pricing action here because there's a lot of exciting stuff going on, closing in 3 minutes. The other interesting thing that came about from the conversation that I had with this person who I met up with, I said to him, and I only thought about this I thought of a couple things sort of on the spot as we were talking. We had a really good conversation. One of the things I remember saying to him was, I actually think, and listen to what I'm about to say here, this is critical. It is much less important to come up with a price range of where you think Bitcoin's going to go. You guys know I've talked about 120, 130. I've spoken about the possibility of being prepared for a scenario where Bitcoin doesn't even touch 100,000. It falls short because there's a lot of talk about 100,000, okay? Maybe it hits 90,000. The point is, that is less important. That is less important what the price target is we've come up with. What is more important, how are you planning to identify when it makes sense to begin to sell your investments? That is the most challenging question to answer for yourself and the most critical of things to be able to answer. It is much less important for me as a successful investor, I should say as an investor to succeed, to be able to answer the question to you, the audience, where is Bitcoin going to go? Is it going to be 130, 150, 180? 90, 110. That is so much less important. What is more important is what price indicators, what charts, what things am I going to look at, keeping it stupid simple, that when I check the box, okay, on all these things, it says you better start selling your investments. Because chances are, let me just be very clear on this, chances are I and most people will be wrong regarding what their predominant view is of a Bitcoin topping. Against my predominant viewing, Bitcoin hits somewhere around $130,000. But I've shared with you, maybe it overshoots that. Maybe it does hit 150 plus. I also think it's quite possible we don't even hit $100,000. But the point is, more than likely, my predominant hypothesis will not be correct, and I'm prepared for that. I am very prepared for that because what I plan to do is to answer the question, CBG, when are you actually going to sell your investments? And that's what I plan to share with you guys. So I want you to keep that in mind. We're going to take a look at the weekly close. We just closed out on the week. There's one thing I'm looking for on this weekly close, and I think you know what it is. Let's get to the comments here real quick before I get into the charts. Black oil is in the house. Let's fucking go. Oof. YC, welcome in. I know, DJ, you always do bring the energy, and I do appreciate it. Thumbs up for everyone new tuning in. I can't have half the amount of likes as people watching the channel. It makes no sense. By the way, if you get annoyed, because I've been there in your shoes, if you get annoyed me asking for thumbs up, you don't know what it's like to be a content creator. There is absolutely no way for my content to reach a broader audience unless you guys are making an effort to literally go like this. And you click a thumbs up. That's all you have to do, okay? Because it helps the YouTube algorithm. Believe me, I get annoyed too when people go live and talk about this stuff. But now being a content creator, I understand why they say it. It really does help. I've been creating content for a long time, and I have such a teeny tiny audience. I'd like to see it expand over time. And you can help accomplish that. WPB, I don't know what that is, black oil. What's up with that, CBG? No love for black oil. I don't know what that is, man. WPB, I don't know what that is. Harmony One is greater than Caspa. At the moment, it is not. Caspa's market cap is greater than Harmony One. So, love both projects, but we got to keep things real. If you don't exit, you'll be like CBG. You know. DJ, you can't rely on any one indicator. I'm just warning you. If you're just relying on Pi cycle, no one indicator says anything. Alligator's a good indicator. J. Kim, I don't know what you're talking about. West Palm Beach. Wait, hold on. Let me read your comment again. I'm in West Palm Beach. Okay. If you mentioned that before, my friend, if you want to have a meetup with CBG, we'll do a meetup sometime. If you're in West Palm Beach, you can DM me. Of course, I'm real bad about DMs. This guy that I met up with showed me a DM he sent me months ago on Instagram, and I didn't even see it. So DM me. Maybe we can figure something out here in the coming months. By the way, speaking of which, did want to mention to you guys, we're seeing some juicy things on the Bitcoin Weekly. Let's get into that. Did want to mention to you guys, this is very important, just for your awareness, and I'll make sure to communicate this all week. I believe I will be out of commission. I will be unavailable for live streams or content all of next week. So I would not count on any live streams next week. I wouldn't count on seeing me very active on Twitter. The week of November the 5th, I will be pretty much out of commission, but I should be back full swing the week of November 12th. So just wanted to make you aware. Please do not cry yourself to sleep. I will be back. But let's talk about price action. Now, first off, before we get to the number one thing I wanted to see in this chart, and by the way, it is monumentally bullish. You see the smile on my face right now. I don't generally get this naturally. I haven't been this naturally excited on this live stream in a long time. Like, I'm feeling very good with what I just saw print. We're gonna get to that in a moment. But let's talk about just the price action for a moment. Look at this candlestick. Now, again, one of the basic premises that I speak to on this channel is that it's much less important that you understand the recognition of a candlestick name versus the story that the candlestick presents to us, right? Look at this weekly candlestick here. What does this tell us? First off, ladies and gentlemen, this is a moment. This is a historical moment on this live stream. This has been a zone of resistance I have been speaking about all the way since probably around March when I first started the live stream. You know, I started this live stream in late March. When did I start this live stream? Am I celebrating 7 months? March 27th of 2023. I am celebrating 7 months of live streaming every single weekday. You know, plus or minus a few days when I was unavailable, right? But every single weekday. And every single weekday I would come out here, we would talk about this red zone of resistance. Guys, this is a big moment. I really want you to take this in for a moment. This area between 28, let me get the exact dollar level here that I have this coded as, 28,800 to 31,900. Red zone of resistance, guys. Now, we technically need this week as the confirming candlestick, but I'm gonna be a little presumptuous, actually. It is a green zone of support. I mean, that feels so good. That feels incredibly good. For 7 months, we've been staring at this red motherfucking zone of resistance. And now, with this weekly candle, we need this weekly candlestick technically for confirmation. This should provide a green zone of support, because anytime you flip an area of resistance and you get above it, okay, once we break above it, if we're bullish, it turns into support. So that in itself is monumental. But guys, this weekly candlestick has printed near the highs of the entire week. Let's level set the conversation. Last week we opened at 29,900. We went as high, and this is on Bitstamp, we went as high as 35,200, and we closed this week at 34,500. This is an enormous bullish green weekly close. And we have closed at the highest levels. Let me see. Oh, wow. We have closed at the highest levels since late April of 2022. I mean, I'm not good with math, but that's a year and a half ago. We have closed the week at the highest price levels in Bitcoin in a year and a half, guys. Take a moment to appreciate the fact that what we should now do, if I am as bullish as I believe we're going to be, and we get the weekly confirmation and we continue churning higher, all of this price action, let me get this off. All of this price action, we can say goodbye to. $31,000 and below, goodbye. Now, I'm not telling you we can't wick to that level, but all this price action, candle body closing basis, goodbye. We'll see you later. Am I drawing enough circles here? These are technically ovals. They're not circles. These are ovals. So ovals, 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 ovals. Guys, you really need to take a moment to appreciate that we have made a historic weekly close on Bitcoin, year and a half. Now, but with all of these exciting developments in the chart, what is the number one thing I am most excited about? What is the number one thing I am most excited about? Let's go to the price indicators, the RSI. Not only did we break descending resistance, not only did we break 63, guys, we did something this week I did not think we would do. I didn't see this coming, that we would get this high. Guys, we just flipped the 70 RSI level on the weekly Bitcoin chart. Now, if you've been here for the past couple live streams, you know exactly why I am making such a big deal about this. If you haven't been here, you're like, what is this guy smoking? And why is this so important? Okay? The 70 RSI, when we go back in the history of Bitcoin, when it's been breached and held above, like here, a significant move, 2020 going into 21. Here, this was our wave one top in the Elliott wave back in 2019. All of this movement here was this historic run from 2016 going into the end of 2017. It is not often that the RSI on the weekly for Bitcoin gets above 70. And historically, when it has gotten above 70, the odds are monumentally, not majorly, monumentally in our favor that we should see significant moves to the upside. It doesn't, when I'm not telling you, somebody is going to listen to what I'm saying and hear something I'm not saying. They're going to hear me, but they're going to listen to what I'm saying, but they're going to hear something different. I'm not telling you Bitcoin is doing this. That's not what I just said. But what I am telling you is that in general, given that we've gotten above the RSI, now there's no one indicator to tell us anything, but if history is any indicator of what we can expect, it's all about the higher highs and the higher lows and monumental moves up, okay? Again, I just want Bitcoin to close between 35.5 and 48 by the end of the year. Now does it seem a lot more likely? When we were back here, again, when we were in this area and I was like, well, I want to close up in here by the end of the year, I'm sure a lot of you thought I was smoking weed. And actually, I don't do that in my spare time. I do live in South Florida. That was another thing that came out of conversation today. This is the state where it is not legal, but legal to smoke pot. I don't do weed. I don't do pot. I don't do drugs. I'm not on drugs. The only drugs I'm on are saying my prayers and taking my vitamins. That's Hulk Hogan. I don't really know. I couldn't really think of anything, to be honest with you. The whole point is, cutting from the act for a moment, I think far fewer of you were willing to really listen to what I was saying, if you're honest with yourselves. that when we were here and here, that this was possible before the end of the year. Now that we're literally a few percentage points away, maybe it's becoming a little bit more believable. And it gets back to the fact that I've been here for a very long time. And I know that when there are big moves in the market, it happens very quickly. Bitcoin is not an asset that goes like this, okay? This isn't, you're not buying Dow Corning. You're not buying Colgate. You're not buying Ford Motor Trucks. You're buying motherfucking Bitcoin, okay? And if you think this price action was pretty epic this week, wait until there is true euphoria in the altcoin market. Wait until Bitcoin breaches its all-time high of 69,000, which I believe will occur next year. Wait until that moment happens, and then you will see, if you haven't been here before to witness it, your breath will literally be taken away when you open up your phone and you look at your ledger balance or your Tangent balance or your SafePal balance. Hopefully you use cold storage. Maybe you have a little on exchange. You go into your Coinbase account. Hopefully it's vaulted up. I have some of my Coinbase account, but it's all vaulted up. You go on there and you see the balance going up and up and up and up, and you're like, Christ, what is going on? How can my account be going up 20% every day? And that's why I say to you, as awesome a feeling as that is, because your patience and education is being rewarded, you better profit from it. Because if you don't profit from it, to DJ's point, you will be like me from 2021. You will see a paper gain. Now, again, my view was founded on education, and I was wrong. I was humbled by the market. But the point is, I was humbled at this point. I saw my paper gains dwindle during the correction. It's not happening again. I learned from this experience. I'm going to be more wise moving forward. I'm humble enough to share this information with you so that it may benefit you, and benefit myself as well by listening to myself moving forward. You gotta sell. You gotta know what your investment strategy is towards selling. Let's see what other comments we have here. I did see a super chat come in. We like shilling this Jesus coin. Jesus coin is a blessing and rising, so wanted to share some. Thanks for all you do. Well, let's take a quick look at Jesus coin real quick. Let's see if that's an honest assertion. Let's see. How is Jesus coin doing? Let's take a quick look at it. This is, I'm not promoting this. I don't know anything about this project. I just know that the Jesus community comes on this live stream quite often. Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you, as I always am. You know, it's one of those sayings you always say. This looks like a bull flag. This could be a monumental bull flag here. So you could have, you could have a pole. You clone that. Yep. Clone that, depending where we break out. Yeah, you could have a really big bull flag here. So, yeah, consolidating. But I don't know anything about the project, so I don't want to. But thank you for the super chat, though. I do appreciate it. God bless you as well. All right. Kathleen is in the house. Welcome in, Earthwalker. Good to see. Stunning ovals, right? My creativity at drawing is unlike any other. By the way, did want to tell you, for those keeping track of a little bit of swing trading I'm doing, I put in a sell limit order at 39.3 cents on Ocean Protocol. Again, I was trading it, got out of the majority of my position, and I'm entering another swing trade position on UMA. There are some developments in UMA that I've been evaluating that tell me we could see some sort of a quick rise in price here. So just for those who are following. Never financial advice. That's just what I'm doing. Again, these are, when I talk about swing trade positions and trades, those are really small positions. Most of my portfolio as I always say, why am I drinking diet soda at this time of night? I don't know why I chose to do that. Most of my positions are invested. Let's take a look at what other weekly closes we can look at. Of course, Caspa's heating up. I think it's going to go monumentally higher here very shortly. Nah, let's not talk about Caspa. I talk about Caspa all the time. Let's talk about something else. You know what? Let's look at Solana. Now, I had charted this out a long time ago, and as you can see here, look at these beautiful, of course, all the FUD comes out about Solana. I'm not here to talk to you about the fundamentals. I'm just here to talk to you about this chart. This chart looks epically bullish here. And as you can see, looks like we're on a path towards 46 here. I don't see this slowing down. MACD's up. RSI is not even at 70 yet. Stochastic RSI is crossed in the right direction. This thing still has enough steam that we could start blowing up towards 46 or as high as 59. Of course, once we get a weekly close above 59 to 60 bucks, that's when things are going to get really interesting. But this chart looks epically bullish. I don't know how you could be bearish on this. Harmony 1 is another one that's starting to get really interesting. Of course, you guys know that I have a significant position in Harmony 1. Now, this is a monumentally bullish weekly candle. You can see here practically we closed at the highs of the week. This is on the weekly. MACD's getting closer. We still have a lot of work to do to get up here. RSI is still way oversold at 47. This thing still has a lot of room to run. 3-day bullish divergence that I pointed out here has panned out perfectly so far. We were in a technical falling wedge. But again, I'm not, and we're close to getting across above the MACD on the 3-day, which the last time we had an explosive rise in price. I'm not getting super excited about Harmony 1 until we start getting daily closes above 3 cents. Until we start getting above 3 cents, I'm not really excited about it. It's my same thoughts on like H-bar. I'm not really excited about H-bar. I think I said 10.8 cents. I'm not excited about it. Now, one mover of the Holy Crypto Trinity that's starting to get a little juicy is Mana. And I had indicated earlier that I increased my position in Mana recently. We're heading up towards descending resistance here on the weekly. These metaverse plays are going to be big plays. And the two ones that I know about that are big ones would be Mana and Sandbox. Okay, I don't hold a position currently in Sandbox. I obviously hold Mana. But we're starting to heat up here on the weekly for Mana. I will be very interested once we start pushing up towards 60 and 70 cents here. So very, very interesting. Doge, that was another one I was looking at. Of course, you guys know I've shared with you I hold a position in Doge. Take a quick look at Digibyte. Saw the price has been sort of steadily ticking up lately. Haven't really been keeping a close eye on it. Let's see here. Sorry, I have a little indigestion. I was eating very quickly before the live stream, so ate a little later than I normally do. I've typically, with this fasting thing I've been doing, I eat no later than 4 o'clock. I had dinner at like 7 o'clock, so yeah. This is on a 10-day. MACD's picking up. RSI, stochastic RSI. RSI is ticking up. Nothing too monumental going on with Digibyte. Let's get off. Man, I see some questions coming in. I can help answer some questions for you guys if you have some. Doge BTC. Let's see. Let me see here. Okay, let me get back to the questions here. Boy, I wish I would get these types of super chats every live stream. This is great. I got another super chat. Loving the super chats today. Man, if I can get $20 of super chats every single live stream, I may just quit my job. I'm joking, but I do appreciate it. Wait, there was a question up here. Let me see. I want to make sure I don't miss your TA questions. If I've scrolled past the comments and I missed your Mr. TA question, make sure to ask. Greg, nothing significant on Cass. You know, it's what I've been trying to tell people is I think we're at this. Greg, this is all I would say. Black oil. This point in time to me is very similar to this point in time. And you can see from this point in time, you know, we basically did like, I don't know, it was like a 7, 8, 9X, right? I don't think it's out of the question for Caspa to do something ridiculous and go up to 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 cents. And I mean that before the end of the year. So we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. I think it's ignorance to say that Caspa had its move. It's been up so much this year, and now we're just exhibiting weakness. Like, I just don't see that in the charts. I've shared way too much with you guys. Never financial advice. I'm just saying this is literally consolidating right at all-time highs. It's forming a base here. To me, that is strength. And the more times that we continue to hit that resistance, the weaker it becomes. At some point, okay, not making a prediction, I'm making a general assertion of what I believe is most probable some point soon. I believe at some point soon, we're going to witness a very large break up for Caspa. We will see if I'm correct with that. That's what I would say. And my portfolio says so. Let me see. Can I chart Maple? Yes, Kathleen, you've been very interested in Maple. Do we hold a significant share in Maple? Now, this is one that we did look at. You can see we said it was consolidating here in a triangular pennant. Of course, you can draw this pennant so many different ways. The more price confluence, the more touches, the more significant it is. You could actually draw it like that. So still we're sort of in this triangular formation. Not too much else to say. This is on the weekly. We're picking up. We could be, with the rest of the market in terms of where I see things, Kathleen, we could be primed for a large move up. We just have to remain patient, though. Let's go to a 3-day. Oh, wow. MACD has really picked up. RSI is increasing. I mean, things... My high-level observation on this, Kathleen, is I see this as consolidation, okay? And there is no guarantee that we could break up, but based on where we're at within the market cycle, based on where Bitcoin is at and the rest of crypto is at, I would infer from this pattern and from where the market is at that most likely we're going to see a break up, you know, in these coming couple weeks. So I'll have to just be patient, but things are looking good. And I have your areas of resistance here. I don't need to regurgitate that. Man, a lot of indigestion. I eat way too fast. Sorry, everybody. Should be a wild week, Evan. And actually, this is a great week because we got Halloween. Anybody have any fun plans on Halloween on Tuesday? It was so funny. Same friend I go golfing with. I appreciate it. He still tries to invite me out for like later evening things. I mean, he knows I'm not a late night person, but he still invites me out, which is nice. So I guess him and his wife, or soon to be wife, they went out to like a Halloween party or something this weekend. Like if you're calling me, let me tell you how I roll. Let me tell you how CBG rolls. If you are planning to make plans with me to go out to like a party and the party starts where we're leaving the house at 9, like we're leaving at 9, good night. I'll see you tomorrow, all right? It's not happening. Unless if this is like a bachelor party and like I'm getting married and like I'm going out for a crazy night and like it's a once in a lifetime thing. I am not out at 9. I'm considering shutting down the evening at 9. That is how I am. So, But what are everyone's plans for Halloween this week? I don't have anything planned for Tuesday. It's Tuesday? Yeah, I don't have anything planned. I have a pretty big presentation at work on Thursday. Which honestly I'm not looking forward to which I'm not looking forward to. But yeah, but I don't have anything planned this week. But it is going to be the monthly close on Halloween night. You know what I could consider doing? Ooh. Oh, wait, is Halloween is on the 31st, right? It's on the last day of October, not the 30th. Yes. I could consider doing a live stream maybe at the monthly close on Tuesday. I'll consider that instead of doing like I'll think about that and see how the day goes. Wait, did you just super chat me again? I'm a Bitcoin maxi, but got into Jesus coin this year. It's just fun to finally be into a coin early. Thank you for the chart. You're welcome. Full disclosure, I have no affiliation with Jesus coin. I don't know anything about Jesus coin, but I've noticed that for some reason the community within Jesus coin has latched onto the channel. Maybe it's because I've needed some prayers lately. Maybe that's why. Maybe it's God himself speaking to me. Maybe that's why. Because I've needed some lately. So I've needed some strength from above. It could, as you can see, actually, guys, we didn't review this, and I apologize. There's so much going on right now. We're still in a bull pennant. I just want everyone to understand this is valid. I want to show you something. This pattern, okay, this pattern like this is valid until we broke here, right? So it's not me just like creating something and saying, see, TA doesn't work. CBG's just making up lines. Now he's drawing it like this. Well, guess what? To the moron who says that, or not the moron, but the person who is being ignorant and doesn't know technical analysis, you're not making up technical analysis so long as the data is printing and being current. Okay, we're at a more current time. We have more additional price data, and you're simply retooling the line to fit what is present in the data, and it still fits a valid pattern. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you're reformatting the shape of what you're showing to fit the emerging price data, but the pattern's still valid, guys. Like, I don't understand what's so hard to understand about that. Ignorant people get on my nerves when they don't study technical analysis, but they're quick to try to call people out on bullshit when they're the ones that are full of bullshit. This is still a valid pennant. The other thing you could do, you could also draw it like this. You have a slightly upsloping line, and you have a flat horizontal line here. You can do that too. So, but the key is what you want to watch for is we're still in a valid pennant. You want to watch for a break of this high here. This is at 35,200. That's why I had tweeted earlier. I'm not going to go and find the tweet. I'm not going to be able to find it. Oh, excuse me. See, I ate too fast. Jesus. Apologies. Whew. I had a chicken salad for everybody here who's interested. Not that anyone really cared to hear that. But that's the reason that I said that you want to watch for a break of 35,200. Because if we get a clean break of this high at 35,200, we start breaking above here. Now, we could always roll over. We could break 35,200 and roll over. I'm just saying chances are, based on my views of the market, once you see a clear break of 35,200, that's when we're going to start heading towards the technical target up towards like $40,000. So that is my view. And we could hit that as early as this week. It's very possible. Black Oil, you want to golf with me? You better have some tequila ready. What I've noticed about my golf game is my golf game improves the more tequila I drink. Give CBG tequila, the golf game improves. You know, what I consider myself, or what I should say is, when I golf, what I like to do is I like to give myself a nice, fair, honest handicap. So if a hole doesn't go well, we just put a question mark on the scorecard. put a question mark, you know? If I got perhaps a double bogey, but, there was that one or two shots that didn't go well, that's either a double bogey but really a par or a single bogey. Okay, so we try to be generous there and provide some positive feedback on the golf game. So I give myself a nice. Sometimes when I've also been notorious on holes where the entire hole doesn't go well, but I had a really nice putt. So on the scorecard, I just put nice putt. Right? It's positive. It's positive reinforcement. So if you really want to golf with me, give me some tequila and we're gonna have a good time. More tequila, the better the time I'm going to have. Oh, great. You'll be watching crypto? Alrighty. Thank you, Greg, for not making me feel bad either. 8:30 to 9. Yeah, I don't... A late night for me, like if I stay out on a Friday or Saturday late. Barks Diet Root Beer. I don't even know why I'm drinking that. A late night for me... I'm looking at the clock and I'm like, oh my God, it's 10:30. I'm out of here. Some people are just heading out at that time. That was the other thing we were talking about today is just South Florida, man. The further south you go here, the crazier it gets. And the more it makes me realize I do not want to live in South Florida for the rest of my life. I mean, there are many things I love about this area, but it is just a little too cray-cray the older I'm getting. I want to live in a little bit more of a chill place. Oh, man. Ned, welcome in. Yeah, I think I remember looking at SLP. Did we look at that one together? Well, if it broke out of one of our... charting patterns that we looked at. I want to take a look at it with you clearly. Oh my God. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that beauty. I don't know if I would... There you go. On the weekly. Faux shizzle. Faux shizzle. Ned. Look at that falling wedge. We rose from 1.5 cents all the way to... We doubled. Very, very nice. You got to trade on that. Now, if you miss this... You know how I'm going to tell you how to play this. SLP. What do you think I'm going to say? Just a little bit above it. In case it doesn't backtest it. But the key is, quite oftentimes when you break these descending lines of resistance, they love more times than not to come down and backtest as support and continue pumping higher. So I would wait for approximately this 2.2 to 2.1 cent area or below towards the psychological level of 2 cents. But awesome. Glad to see the breakout here. This is one we looked at. Ned brought this one up. Bowling. I haven't bowled in a very long time. I had a really good time. Last time I bowled, I'm going to make myself sound like an alcoholic here, a closet alcoholic. I was going to say the last time I bowled, I was inebriated. I'm not a closet alcoholic. But last time I did bowl, I was inebriated. Yes, that was a good time. I thought I was just going to roll right into bowling and just pick up where I left off and be this really good bowler. At least I never was a really good bowler, but a decent bowler. And the very first bowl on video, I have it on video, the very first ball that I threw was a gutter ball. That's what I do remember. Alcohol is a nasty drug. Well, I wouldn't consider it a drug, but I have complete respect for anyone who doesn't drink. But I do like my tequila. Caffeine pills. I've never done caffeine pills. I do coffee. That's my pre-workout. I don't watch MMA. I don't watch the fighting stuff. What other charts can we take a look at with you guys? We're nearing the end of the live stream. I think what would be important to take a look at with you guys, of course I should be back tomorrow, right? So some of this stuff we can look at tomorrow. That's what I thought. Okay, so this is the current 2-week candlestick. Now, this is a significant development in the total crypto market cap. I haven't honestly looked at this chart all week. Let's spend a moment to talk about this, and then I'll be back tomorrow, okay? This is the total cryptocurrency market cap, all right? In many ways, the way that this chart works, because it's charting every single cryptocurrency, all of it, all the market capitalizations combined of all these projects, in many ways, if you think about this intuitively, because Bitcoin and Ethereum are in this total calculation, it's going to skew the result here. Because Bitcoin and Ethereum account for so much of the total cryptocurrency market cap, I'll say roughly, 75% maybe, or 78%. Think of it this way. If Ethereum and Bitcoin dominate 78% of the entire cryptocurrency market cap, 78% of this chart is influenced by Bitcoin and Ethereum. Of course, we could take a look at the total 3. We could take a look at that tomorrow. But for now, the chart is the chart. And the entire cryptocurrency market cap is doing something very interesting. Again, I have identified a red region of resistance in this area. You can see in the past, when we broke above it and backtested, we went higher. Here, backtested it as support and went higher. Once we broke below it, you can see we could not get back above it. This is all the way up towards 1.34 trillion, okay? 1.34 trillion, all right? What's going to help us to push above there? There are really two main plays that are going to help us push above there. Bitcoin and Ethereum. So at some point, and I don't think we're too far off from this, at some point, Ethereum is going to make a large move. What will follow suit with that will be Ethereum Classic, by the way, if you guys want to play a trade. But Bitcoin and Ethereum are what's going to drive this above here. Now, we've spoken about this area forever. I can just remember so many weeks coming out on this live stream, and it was so salty in here. Look at this. This was back in April to May to June to July, August, September, October, finally, for 7 months. I mean, this was just boring, and I was trying my best to keep you guys in the game, And here we are, finally, at this point in time, here, we haven't been at since back in April. We are literally less than 8% away from a candle body close that would be a historic candle body close. It would be the last time we've closed at those levels since May of 2022. So when we can get a total cryptocurrency market cap closing roughly 8% higher than where we're at, above 1.34 trillion, what we will have effectively done is we will have wiped out all of this price experience. All of it. All of that stuff will have been wiped out. All of it. And all those people calling for 5,000 and 10,000, I'm not going to name names actually, but you know who they are. The people calling for 5,000 Bitcoin, 10,000 Bitcoin. Soon it'll be, the major calls will be 15,000 Bitcoin, 20,000 Bitcoin. You're wiping those away, okay? Not to say as we go higher that some of those price levels, at least 15 and 20, aren't possible. I'm not going to say those aren't entirely out of the realm of possibility. But once we get a candle body close above 1.34 trillion, we are significantly increasing the likelihood that we're going to go much higher. And then once we start clearing, this orange line is intentional. Once we start clearing 1.8 trillion, that's when things are going to get really real. This is a very impressive candle body close here. Okay, we're right in this red zone of resistance. Okay, so we just want to move about 8% higher. Now on the weekly as well, you look at this MACD, look at all this momentum picking up. Look at the fact that the RSI, we often talk about key levels on the relative strength index, the RSI, we're well above 50. We're well above 55, 56. We're all the way up at 64. This move up in Bitcoin, this is why I'm saying this big move up in Bitcoin was historic for so many reasons that we already laid out. Sorry, this move here. It was historic for so many reasons that we laid out. We got that RSI above 70 on the weekly. We're above this major zone of resistance we've been spending 7 months talking about. And now this total is on the precipice of closing up at a level it hasn't seen in a year and a half. These are key things that most people are not paying attention to, okay? I want to encourage you guys moving forward, okay? Closing thoughts here. Moving forward, I want to encourage you. Tune out the news. If you make a conscious decision that you are going to pay attention to popular news narratives and you are going to pay attention to the prominent YouTube influencers who get off on fear tactics or hype, one or the other, they are going to increase the likelihood that you will make an emotional decision and you will not succeed or not be as successful as you otherwise could have been. Really allow all of these charts to do the talking for you. Right now, things are picking up in a monumental way. Make sure that you're tuning in daily so that we can assess the charts together and take an honest look at what is developing within the charts. But right now, there's a lot of really bullish things going on. We're right up in this zone. Let's just get 8% higher. Guys, we can have a mini celebration when we get up here and have a candle body close. Then we can start, we could do a shot of tequila or two once we break above 1.8. Not black oil, because he thinks it's poison. Black oil, which everybody's got their opinion, but I might do a shot of tequila. Once we get a close above 1.8 trillion, then we can do a shot of tequila, because now we only have this price confluence to get through. So things are picking up, guys. Things are picking up. We have every reason to be cautiously optimistic. Another thing we're going to take a look at in the charts we haven't spoken to today, we're going to take a look at traditional markets. We want to see how they close out on the month. My friend and I, who I met up with today, we were talking about that a little bit. So we will take a look at traditional markets and have an honest conversation about what's going on there. Remember, traditional markets aren't going to tank and Bitcoin's just going to decouple and go up 30%. That's not what's going to happen, okay? Anyone shilling you, I hate that word, I shouldn't use that. Anyone telling you that Bitcoin's going to completely decouple from traditional stock markets and we could tank 10 or 20% more in the stock market, and Bitcoin and crypto are just going to go up, they are leading you in the wrong direction. That's not going to happen. They are literally, they're drinking that juice. Okay, they're drinking that juice. They're smoking that funny stuff. All right. All right, guys. I am going to take off. I'm going to enjoy a little bit of my evening. Well, not really. I'm going to be heading to bed here, actually. So I'm going to brush my teeth, floss up a little bit, use the mouthwash. I do that about 3 times a day, actually. And yeah, I'm going to relax a little bit. So everybody have a nice evening, a nice day, a nice start to your day, a nice morning, afternoon, evening, wherever the hell you're at. And I should be back tomorrow. Everybody take care. I appreciate everyone showing up today. Until next time, let's all spread awareness and let's carry the education forward. Take care, everybody. Thank you, Hendy. Take care.